Hello and welcome to Amazing Thought and Stories. Today I'd like to share with you about science and religion. There is such a stark disagreement between science and religion, most notably between scientists and religious people, in such a way that it seems impossible to reunite scientific theories and religious theories. But today I'd like to prove to you that science has done much more work in proving the existence of God than religion has ever done. I'll start by mentioning some historical figures, scientists, and philosophers who had opinions on the topic of religion. According to Galileo, religion seeks to know how to go to heaven, but science seeks to know how the heavens go. Sir Isaac Newton, the greatest scientist of all time, saw God as a masterful creator whose existence is undeniable in the face of the grandeur of all creation. Professor Albert Einstein, the greatest scientist of modern time, admitted that the universe cannot exist on its own, but there must be a creator who created the universe and set it into motion. But according to Professor Albert Einstein, this God he's talking about is not a personal God. That is, he doesn't necessarily care about our personal issues, but he is only concerned about keeping the universe in unity. Personally, I disagree with Albert Einstein on that because I have experienced God personally. I know God is good to me. He cares about me personally. And just as a disclaimer, if God didn't care about us, I'm not sure. I don't think we as human beings would exist in this universe so long. In a universe that is, in my opinion, biased against us. This universe does not actually favor us in every aspect. The universe is somehow biased in such a way that, for example, it is easier to be a bad person than it is to be a good person. It is easier to choose the wrong way than it is to choose the right way. When you plant seeds in a garden, what happens is that the seeds grow quite alright. But when you plant nothing in the garden, what happens? Weeds grow. This is because the universe is so biased against us, or it's rigged against us in such a way that if God didn't exist, or if God didn't care about us personally, I'm not sure we would survive. You factor in all the disasters and all the natural disasters that occur on their own, which are beyond our control. I think without God personally caring about us, we wouldn't survive some of these things. Our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, with 250 billion stars, 120 billion of which are star systems with at least one planet orbiting them, makes up only 4% of the known universe. If you put all that into perspective, we humans make up an extremely tiny percentage of the universe. So it makes sense for Albert Einstein to reason the way he did, that the universe is so massive, so large, and we make up such a tiny percentage that God probably doesn't care about us. But if you're a religious person, you agree with me that God does care about us. If you're not a religious person, I dare you to prove to me how you would have survived right up to this extent without God's intervention in your life personally. And also, just to put this into perspective, if we take away the fact that God cares about us, then believing in God is irrelevant in my opinion, because it defeats the purpose of believing in God in the first place. Why do I believe in God? I believe in God because He gives me hope, He gives me joy, He gives me happiness, knowing that somebody somewhere who is far greater than anything I can ever imagine does care about me personally, without which I'll live in total despair. And I have experienced this at a point in my life. I totally doubted the existence of God. I reached a point where I sank into total doubt. I doubted whether God actually existed or not. And because of that, my life was in so much despair, and I was literally sinking. It affected me so much. Even in my academics, I began to perform so poorly. Thank God for His grace. He came and helped me up and put me back on track and kept my belief firm. And today I can unequivocally say that God lives. Okay, God does exist. For those of you who don't believe in God, make sure you subscribe to my channel. As time goes on, I'm going to be uploading videos that are going to give you reasons, that will give you undeniable reasons why you have to believe in God. The actual extent of the universe remains unknown and is projected to be more than 250 times bigger than the known universe. Science, which I believe in, has proven unequivocally that UFOs and aliens do exist in other parts of our Milky Way galaxy, and their civilization is by far better advanced than ours. According to science, our civilization currently has not reached type 1, which means we're still in a type 0 civilization, moving to type 1 before we get to type 2 and type 3. But there exist aliens with civilizations already at type 2 and some at type 3. So you can imagine that. So the universe is indeed great. The universe is constantly expanding at the speed of light. And much evidence seems to be pointing towards the fact that we live in a multiverse of many universes and some parallel universes. All this only brings me to the understanding that God is by far greater than I ever imagined. The more science discovers how actually big the universe is, the more they are actually unintentionally proven that God exists. God exists, and He is so big, bigger than we can ever imagine. Think about it for a second. 120 billion star systems with planets orbiting them, with size of the Earth, some bigger than the Earth, are in billions upon billions of them. So you can imagine, just think for a second, imagine that for a second and think about how really large the universe is. And that is just 4% of known universe, the universe that is known. We're not talking about the entire universe, but what has been discovered so far, which means there exist other parts of the universe. Scientists are constantly working on discovering other parts of the universe, but we're talking about 4% of what has been discovered so far, which means in reality the universe is so massive, so big, far bigger than we can imagine. And then talking about the existence of many universes, which means we're not even talking about just one universe, but a multiverse of universes. And what you have to know is God is the creator of it all. So imagine for a second how really big, how really grandiose God is. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Amazing Thoughts and Stories. I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. Click the notification bell in order to get a notification each time I post content. And also, I'd like you to like and share. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.